Hello. Hi. How are you today? All right. Welcome to MBRL. We'd like to thank everyone who's here. Thank you to MBRL for inviting us to not only embody our culture, but to celebrate it for Philippine Independence Day. We're so grateful to be living in a country that allows us to be Filipino, not only allows us, but allows us to celebrate being Filipino. Isn't that great? So in that, we had come prepared to read excerpts from our work and excerpts from other people's work, other Filipinos.
I'm gonna read a short Hiligaynon poem. So Hiligaynon is my mother tongue. Philippines has, I think, over 180 languages, and one of it is Hiligaynon. And then after that, I'll dive deeper onto some of the Hiligaynon history. It's called Night Song by Ariston M. Echevarria. The whole world listens to your message. You are the cathedral of oblivion, wide-winged and unseen. Your dark mantle is ever untouchable. You shadow sunshine. You are a marvel of creation. You are the delight of lovers. You enshroud them in quiet, and with the stars of the prophets, you crown them all. You are the cradle of dreams for all, the wealthy and the poor. And also for this song, Shape of My Compassion. Echoes of the Babaylan Singing, the 21st Century West Visayan Literature by John Eramil E. Teodoro. When we look closely at the map of the Philippine archipelago, we will see the Panay Island is the gut center of the Philippines. It is no wonder that the center of the Babaylan tradition is Panay, which was called Madias by the Malay settlers, who arrived in the archipelago in 3 waves from 200 BC to 1500 AD. The island was earlier called Aninipay, named after a plant once abundant on the island by the Ati or the Negritos, who came by the land bridges centuries before Indonesians and Malaysians did. So we will read an excerpt called Lola Basyang in the UAE. Lola Basyang in the UAE was adapted from Severino Reyes's Ang Mga Kwento ni Lola Basyang. And Severino Reyes, he used the pen name Lola Basyang, but and he is also the father of Philippine drama. So Lola Basyang in the UAE is also grounded and written around a capstone project by a second-generation migrant who went to New York University. So he is a New York University alumni, and we got his research. His name is Joshua Oyos.
I'm gonna start first with Terrace Across the Earth, written by Miss Danabel Gutierrez, and a poem here is Teaching My Lover How to Love in Filipino. She has been a very strong foundation in the literary scene, in the poetry scene, by shining light on the different works and individuals and stories and struggles and triumphs that we all have. In Tagalog, we have a verb called tahan. This means to cease crying. Tahanan is home, the place where you stop crying, where misery does not have a seat saved at the table, where love offers you a glass of water, rocks you back to comfort, to calm. So darling, know that when I ask you to come home, I mean, give me your sadness. Let me dance with it in my arms until I lull it to sleep. I mean, my shoulders are your handkerchief, my lap is your lanai, and it may rain and the lights may go out, but we will be drenched in the dark together, decorating the stars with our fondest memories. Mahal, in Tagalog, the word for love and expensive are the same thing. And it sounds like a joke, but really, when I say minamahal kita, I mean I am lavishing you. My love is crowning you king. In Filipino, ibig is to mean, to want. Ibig is wood. Pag-ibig is love. And ibig sabihin is meaning. And all of this is just to say that when all languages have lost their meaning, when I tell you, tahan na sinta. Dry your tears, darling. Sumuko sa pag-aarugang naghihintay sa iyong pag-uwi. Surrender to the care, the tender, waiting for you to return home. Nakahain ang pag-ihirog sa mesa na kahit kailay di mauubos, hindi man lalamig. Love is set out on the table and it will never run out or ever grow cold. Lover, when I tell you I love you, iniibig kita. What I mean to say is, I want to, I would, I mean, I am meant to.
One of the most famous chant is this, Hinilawod. This is the tale of three brothers, three demigod brothers, born to a mortal Datu father and a goddess mom. So yes, I'll be reading just a very short excerpt for context, how they came to be and whatever. So when goddess Alunsina, also known as Laon Sina, Laon from my language means maiden, unmarried, spinster. It's a derogatory. So when goddess Alunsina came of age, her father Kaptan decreed that she marry. So that, and also for context, we have this idea that before gods and mortals lived together in harmony, we all lived in the same space, right? So when it was decreed that the prettiest goddess in all town of Hollywood, all country of Hollywood is set to marry, she's of age, gods and mortals vied for her hand. However, the lovely Diwata, goddess, she didn't choose any of the gods, but she chose a mortal, Datu Paubari. And he's the ruler of Hollywood. This, of course, angered the gods, and they all plotted to ruin the wedding. So, yes, Maklum Satwan is Lord of the Plains, and he said, yes, let's flood Hollywood so they can't get married. And however, with the aid of Suklang Malayon, he is the guardian of happy homes. He warned both Alonsina and Datu Paubari that, flood is coming, move, leave. And they did. So they were able to escape.
This one is called Dagta. It's dedicated to Jaime D. Jimenez Sr. Pa, do not ask for directions. The earth still remains hollowed. Pinagpala, fresh, sariwa, spear running through flesh. Hanggat maalala ng sibat ang wasiwas gorilla'd fish. And the compass a tail broken like bread. Shards of light at sacrament breaks fast, holds fast. A prayer beginning to exile, amen. Standing lonely sky, metal scraping, skyscraper, arrows tracing, gun at the roof, balang namahay sa lupa, raw grapefruit, oil doused landscape, horizon, valley-shaped gasps. The distance is a story passed down, trickling lies for a lineage. Bartered to keep you alive, we deceive, Papa. A word will never be kept sacred at the mouth if there is spit. I know you will not reach me, yet you've yet to reach the clearing where sweet grass are blading, breaking morning through canopies, leaves leaving to reach the broken gravity, dancing halfway, sideways, upturned till the ground.
I wanted to ask both Liz and Benj, because they are both Bisaya or from that region. So I know that being who I am and being where I am, I do have some sort of privilege because I talk the way that I do. I actually do have a poem that that talks about that. Like, would you still respect me if my accent was not my accent? And I know you say, Benj, that you're not consciously masking your accent, but what would you say to people who, I guess, feel ashamed of their accent? And is there a way that they could just embrace it and celebrate it as well? And Liz, that question goes on to you as well.
Well, first of all, I want to say there's no shame in it. Like that's I mean that's something I have to say to myself every day. There's no shame in speaking in broken English, in like broken Tagalog, or like they say you butcher something. Like no, like me personally, I know I can speak 2, 3 languages, and like some people who shame other people with broken English only speak one. So like if we're shaming, let's not shame. That's the point. That's the point I'm making. There's no shame. Like speak communication, like talking to people from different cultures, different corners of the world. Like it's I'm happy I'm here in Dubai. I'm happy my perspective has expanded and keeps expanding, and being a person like being a judgmental person will hinder me from like meeting new people or learning new things. So there's no shame in it. There's no shame in speaking Bisaya, having a Bisaya accent. Do it.